Hi, Frank.
ஹலோ அண்ணா, எப்படி
Oh,
இருக்கீங்க?
fine, Frank. How are you?
நல்லா இருக்கேண்ணா, நல்லா இருக்கேன்.
Family all well?
எல்லாம் சூப்பரா இருக்காங்கண்ணா.
Good.
அங்க?
All well here. Thank you. Well, long time
சூப்பர்ண்ணா.
no see.
ஆமாண்ணா, மிஸ்ஸிங் ஆல் தோஸ் டிசிஎஃப் டேஸ்.
I know.
ரொம்ப நாள்.
Yeah. Really hard. It has been a hard year for all of us.
ட்ரூ அண்ணா.
Mm. So, Frank, maybe if I can ask you, how do you define this year 2020 in one word?
It's easy அண்ணா for me. Lockdown அண்ணா.
Yeah.
That's how I define.
That's true. I mean, globally, everywhere, every country has been under lockdown uh, during this year. Yeah. Mm.
So, yeah, since you asked that அண்ணா, how do you define?
Uh, I mean, it is hard to tell in one word, but if I have to choose a word, I think I would want to call 2020 as an year to coping, able to
Okay,
cope with the situation and the circumstances.
okay. Just play along. அப்படி சொல்ல வரீங்களா அண்ணா? Okay,
Yeah, coping and trying to move on.
okay, okay.
Mm.
That is also true, yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, because you picked the word lockdown, I'm just interested to know how will you explain this lockdown maybe in 3 words?
From my perspective அண்ணா, work from home அதான் வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் எனக்கு வருது.
That's true.
Too many Zoom and WhatsApp video calls
Tell
across
me,
the
I
world.
can understand. Yeah, there's Zoom
And
fatigue now. There's a new fatigue of Zoom.
ஆமாண்ணா.
Mm.
நம்ம இப்ப கூட Zoomல தான் பேசிட்டு இருக்கோம். So அப்படிதான் இருக்கு situation.
True.
And then the third key item would be less social life அண்ணா, which is something which I miss a lot. Yeah.
Very true. Very true, Frank. I mean, it's hard. I can imagine lockdown has brought all these new equations into life.
Correct அண்ணா. So you tell me அண்ணா, so how would you explain hope or cope, sorry?
For me, from my perspective, as I said, this year 2020 is a year of coping. And how am I coping? I see there has been an increased family time. Now we watch films together, we eat together, we have more family prayer. So I think that has been a way to cope with the situation. I also see that this year has also given opportunity to get to know more new friends on my street. Now we have a WhatsApp group on our street. I came to know more about my neighbors. So this situation has given that opportunity, and it also helped me to cope. And also, I mean, during this year, for the last 6-7 months, I was able to listen to so many people's stories of how they are able to cope or not able to cope, their well-being, their anxiety, their grief. So that was, I mean, listening is in another way that helped me to cope with the situation and the circumstances in which we live today.
Interesting, actually.
Yes, Frank. So, I mean, in all of this, Frank, if I have to ask you, what are the signs of hope? How hopeful are you in life?
So presently, what inspires my hope na eduthukran and the question. So what I see is like, I see the recovery rate is more during this time, meaning the COVID patients recovery rate is more. And I am seeing like there's a positive news daily about improvement in research towards vaccine.
Right.
அது ரொம்ப இம்பார்ட்டண்டா பட்டுச்சு. Then transport and business are slowly starting up since the COVID time. So these are the main things which I feel is giving me hope.
Yeah, I mean, so true. These are signs of hope. And my hope again, as to join with you, is to see that this vaccine will be available freely, not just for people who can afford, across the globe.
Okay.
Vaccine comes, yeah.
Amana, that's what, yeah. So, how do you see hope, in this difficult time?
I mean, my signs of hope, one is, I think for the last 6-7 months, there was an ecological rejuvenation. There was less pollution, and the earth
Okay.
was rejuvenating and renewing itself, which I think is a sign of hope.
Mhm.
And I also see the acts of compassion, feeding the hungry, and
Ah,
and also uh, supporting the vulnerable people who are weak, are not able to cope. So there has been a chain of helping one another. Those acts of compassion for me really shows there is so much goodness in this society which we haven't understood previously. But this year and the circumstances is helping us to understand that there is goodness in this society, and there is so much compassion that we can see in people caring and sharing for one another, with one another. Mhm.
இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருக்குல்லனா சோஷியல் ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டி அண்ட் கேரிங்கே நிறைய இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருக்கு இல்லனா
Yeah,
ஆல்
yeah,
ஓவர் வேர்ல்ட்ல.
it's true.
ஓகே.
Mm, mm. uh, Maybe just to add on, Frank, do you
சொல்லுங்கண்ணா.
do you think faith is relevant in this 21st century, particularly during this year 2020?
ஆனா என்னமோ எனக்கு என்ன ஃபீல் பண்றேன்னா, மோர் தென் எனி இயர்ஸ், திஸ் இயர் ஃபெய்த் இஸ் மோர் ரிலவென்ட்னு நான் நினைக்கிறேன். தட்ஸ்
Mm.
வாட் ஐ ஃபீல்.
Yeah, you're right.
பிகாஸ் என்னன்னா, இப்போ வந்து பீப்புள் ஹூ பிலீவ் ரிலீஜன் அண்ட் பீப்புள் ஹூ டோன்ட் பிலீவ் ரிலீஜன் போத் ஆர் ஹேவிங் அ காமன், யூனோ, காமன் திங் கால்ட் ஹோப் நவ் இன் தெம்,
Mm. Mm.
இன் திஸ் பிரசன்ட் சிச்சுவேஷன். ஸோ
Okay.
அது வந்து எனக்கு ரொம்ப பெருசா படுது.
Mm.
And what I feel is, in this difficult time, Christ is my anchor,
Mm.
who's a big hope for me in this volatile time or volatile tides and storm
Mm.
like COVID. In the time la vandu I feel Christ is the anchor.
Mm. Super, super, Frank. I think that's a great testimony as I hear from you. Mm.
ஆமாண்ணா.
Mm.
ஸோ நீங்க என்ன, how do you அண்ணா நீங்க எனக்கு சொல்லுங்களேன். நீங்க லைக் உங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து நான் கேட்கறதுக்கு இது ஆசைப்படுறேன். என்னன்னா நீங்க வேற மாதிரி பார்ப்பீங்க. ஸோ how do you see faith as relevant in this present
Yeah.
time?
I mean, personally, I think faith is still relevant in the public sphere because,
Okay.
I mean, as you have said, there has been an increase of people waiting on God because many people have attended the online services these days. So people
Mm-hmm.
are trying to understand that prayer is about waiting on God, listening to God, so listening for
Okay.
some direction. So therefore, I see there is uh, faith is relevant, and I see it as a sign of hope. And I
Okay.
also see love in action. So people are trying to show love in action, not
Mm.
just remaining, though circumstances is not allowing us with given social distancing, people are able to care for one another. So
ஆமாண்ணா.
so I see faith to be relevant, and moreover for me the hope is God is with us in all of this. god
Mm.
god has not given up on this world or on us.
True
So
அண்ணா.
God is struggling with us, God is working with us, and God is helping us to overcome this situation.
Mm.
And as you have said, Christ is the anchor of hope for us. And for me, the image I can see is this anchor on a cliffhanger. So
Okay.
Christ is allowing me to hold so that I don't fall, so that I can cling on this hope called Christ. So I am very hopeful, and I think faith is more relevant than ever, and it is more relevant in our public sphere in this 21st century.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Wonderful to very much. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe finally, Frank, what is your dream for a new year, for the new year to come?
அண்ணா, before 2020,
Hmm.
whatever we did normally இல்லையா, அது எல்லாமே has become a big dream this year.
Hmm.
ஸோ அதனால நான் என்ன நினைக்கிறேன்னா, next year I want to stay positive,
Mhm.
with humility, to
Hmm.
enjoy all the small things அண்ணா,
Hmm.
that we have already. So my dream is to live those small things
Hmm.
with help of God அண்ணா.
Super, super, Frank. Because we have lost those small moments, and
ஆமா.
I think to bring back and live those small moments is really, really great. I mean, yeah. Hmm.
ஆமாண்ணா. ஸோ உங்க ட்ரீம் என்னன்னா? இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்
I mean,
ஹியர்.
my dream is to reimagine a world filled with peace, love, and justice. And God in Christ offers that hope. uh, because like many times I've always said, which dream is that which we not only just see in a sleep, but dreams are those which make us not to sleep, so that we can achieve that. So with God with us, so God is helping us to reimagine a world filled with love, peace, and justice, for which all of us need to strive towards it. So that is my dream for a new year to come.
Super, Anna. I'm very hopeful that both our dreams will come true, Anna.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Thanks, Frank. So let's stay hopeful, let's stay faithful, and let's stay truthful to God, and keep loving one another unconditionally, so that we will continue to be relevant for our times. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Anna. Take care, Anna.
Yeah, bye bye.
Bye. Bye.